Howdy folks, it's All Turtle here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator in the middle of the Appalachian Summits bush trip. And we're doing 2 legs per video, so this will be legs 7 and 8. I assume you've watched the other legs, so that's the only introduction you get. Let's get going. Okie dokie, looks like a new day. The sun is low. Let's repair and refuel, which for me is Control R on my keyboard. You will want to map that if you ever do these bush trips, although you're watching the middle of a bush trip, so that's not going to be very helpful for people because in the middle of one. But anyway, let's zoom out a little bit. I still don't know the fuel transfer button is. There has to be one because there it is, way down there. I found it. Okay, so we have to keep up on that and transfer fuel sometimes. Alright, pitot heat comes on, and we're over the highest part of Appalachian, so let's just go to 6,000 feet now and see if that's high enough. And we'll use heading bug, of course, vertical speed 1100 feet per minute. And if that's not high enough, of course, we can always climb, but I would like to stay a little bit lower if we can. Alrighty, let's see. I think we're 46% done, it said. Let's see where we're at, though, for the middle. Or the middle for the takeoff. I think we have plenty of runway. Oh, yeah. Plenty of runway. You can take off from here. Very smooth. Sun is low. We're in a big valley. Pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, we're headed to November Papa. Holston River after launching again, gain altitude, and sight the Holston River, the next destination. Does anything about altitude in here? Okay, 4,100 feet, and we're going to 6,000, so we'll be good. Okay, again, I really wish they had airport elevation. I can't believe they don't. It seems like a very simple thing they should have. Anyway, this should be pretty easy one to spot. Pretty quick leg. Alright, 295 for 3 minutes. Let's go here, 295. I'm already set for 293. So there we go, 295. So we're going to go straight and off to the right for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Parking brake, hit that a couple times, and let's go for it. And we're good, okay. Okie dokie, whoa, again, just like the previous video, my toe is broken and it still hurts, so I'm favoring my right foot for the rudders, but that means we're not very steady. That's why we're kind of zigzagging down the runway here, because my left foot hurts, so I have to use everything with my right. Fortunately, I've got the rotor pedals that have a nice spring so it returns on its own. Brakes to stop the wheels. Gear coming up. Flaps coming up already. We'll hand fly for just a moment, and then we'll go to autopilot, turning on the timer. There we go. Looking good. Looking really good. And whoops, overshot a little bit. That's okay. Alrighty, we're just gonna do autopilot right now because we can. Only because we can, and it makes it easier to make videos. If I were flying by myself, I'd probably hand fly all of it. But it's just easier to make content when it's autopilot. Alright, so the mountain range is there. We're in a big valley. The river is right up here. So we will get to the river, make a turn. I'm going to do this video the same as the last one, where instead of turning loose for sightseeing, I'm just going to talk through things but cut out the stuff so it's talking that applies to what we're doing. You know what I mean? Makes sense? And then we'll just look around together. Just a different way of doing it. Can't say I'm always going to do it this way. I'm just doing it right now. Alright, cool. We got to get to the river before we make a turn. River should be right here, so 3 minutes is pretty close. Unless there's another river up there, maybe. No, that has to be it. Whoa, it's stalling again. Anyway, we're relying on the timer, and that's how we'll decide what we're doing. Alright, we're coming up on this ridge, and the river is down there along the ridge, and then we're just going to stay the same heading pretty much for 5 minutes, and we're going to go to the Clinch River. Then we're going to stay the same heading for 3 more minutes, and we're going to find Big Cherry Reservoir, the next landmark. So apparently in about 10 minutes or so, there's a big reservoir. Maybe not big, but I don't know. I don't see any water out there. I don't see any reservoir looking things. I don't know. There's the river. So let's reset our timer here and go 1 degree to the left until we find Clinch River, and then we'll come back and look for the Big Cherry Reservoir, I guess. Yeah, apparently there's some stuff out there to see, but I don't see anything. And there's the river and the road, and now we're headed to the Clinch River, wherever that is. Nothing's changed. We're just flying what it says to do. So far, so good. I see a river on the GPS, or on the vision, whatever. I can't remember what they call that. The vision screen, whatever. But there's a river there, although I don't see it here. But it's probably here. There it is. That must be the Clinch River. So we're still on track. Everything is going okay. But look at all these foothills. They're really cool. When I was in the foothills in Ohio, it's just really, really cool. Like, it's just awesome. You just gotta go. Even though they're not mountains, they're still cool. Okay, that's definitely a river. So there's definitely a river. We are on track. So as soon as we get over that river, we'll reset the timer, and then we're gonna go, okay, 295 degrees, which isn't much of a change, for 3 minutes to the Big Cherry Reservoir. I wonder if it looks like a big cherry. Let's bring props back a little bit. I wonder if it looks like a big cherry. Nothing's showing up on here though, so we'll have to see if something shows up when it's zoomed in. I don't know. But are we over the river? Okay, we're over the river. So reset the timer and go 295 and look for some water in 3 minutes or so. Okie dokie. We'll try. We'll try our best. In the meantime, we'll look outside. And look at the river there, flying our beautiful airplane, getting some loud sounds by being in front of it. Hopefully that's okay. Sound balance is one of the things I struggle with making all these videos, because I want you to be able to hear the plane more, but depending on how you're listening, it can get really loud and annoying. So sometimes I edit with headphones to get the levels right, but then it doesn't sound as good, so I edit with my studio speakers, but then I crank up the airplane to sound better. But then put the headphones back on and it's too loud. So, and then listening with the phone is different. So just depending on how you're listening, maybe the airplane could be louder. Sometimes it's too loud against my voice. I don't know. I've always struggled with it, but anywho, oh boy, don't be stalling on me like that. Anyway, we're looking for a Big Cherry Reservoir. I wonder if it looks like a cherry. Still nothing on here yet though, and there's only 2 minutes out, it says. This is interesting. Okay, so there's water on the GPS, and if you hop outside, there's water there. So there it is. Okay, there's a reservoir. It's just hidden behind the hills, and it doesn't show up on our GPS for some reason. But there it is. Perfect. Looks like we're going right over it. Wow, we got that perfectly. That's cool. But look at, there's nothing on the GPS, so I don't understand. I don't understand how we're supposed to find that, but I guess, you know, we didn't need GPS because it didn't work anyway, but we found it. Look at that, right over the center of it. Ooh, is that like a campground up in the mountains? That would be cool. Look at that. And there's a dam too. Yep. Of course there'd be a dam on a reservoir. Oh, that's the point of the reservoir. Very cool. Okay, well we found it without GPS, so we do know what we're doing sometimes. I should trust myself. Let's reset the timer because we're getting behind, and we're going to turn, and then we'll read 311. Not much of a turn. But there we go. And it says in 2 minutes we'll we already slightly turned, but in 2 minutes we're going to reach the small town of Appalachia. which is just north of Big Stone Cap. So we're going to see a big town to the left and go over another town 2 minutes out. And then right after that, we're going to reach Black Mountain, head across the border of Kentucky to visit the state's highest point, the Black Mountain, which rises 4,000 feet above sea level. Black Mountain lies within a rich area of coal, a mainstay of the economy in this part of the Appalachian Mountains. Cool. Alright, so there's a big old mountain up here somewhere. So we're going to see a big town, a small town, and a big mountain. Okay, so in a minute we're going to change to 281, and we'll see what happens here. In the meantime, do we see a town? Oh, look, there, right there. There's the big town, obviously, that's huge. And then there's a small town just north of it, which could be that. Is it that close? That seems really close, though, considering... no, that could really be it. We could really be there already. We're way ahead of schedule. No, we're not. Okay, cool. So there we go. There's the big town, and then we're going to go over the small town right there. Very, very simple. And now we're going to turn 281 degrees for 2 whole minutes. And, and we're ahead of schedule, apparently. So what was it, 281? I think it said 281. Look out the window, because we can. There's the big town. Even though they're really close by air, it's probably still a 20-minute drive, right? But you get to drive in the valley of the mountains next to the river, which my wife and I did on our honeymoon. So I guess we're going to have a little bit of story time. First of all, this is Black Mountain. Rich in coal. Makes sense. As we fly there, we will talk about my story times on the honeymoon, which I talked about in the first video, I think. We just left, we moved outside of Cincinnati, went home to get married, came back. Went on our honeymoon. We just drove southeast and into the foothills of the Appalachians and through the Appalachians themselves. And it was so cool where you would be driving between 2 really high hills / mountains in the valley, and then you see houses sticking out of the mountains, and then down in valleys you'd see neighborhoods, and then you would drive up and down, but mainly in between. It was just so cool. I didn't know how to navigate the semis though, because going uphill you pass them because they do like 35 miles an hour. Speed limit was 70, I think. And then downhill they pass you doing 80, so then it's like you're in their way, but then the next hill you're behind them. So I guess I don't really understand how the courtesy would work. I just follow the state laws, but as far as courtesy, I'm not exactly sure how that would work, because you're not going to stay behind them, but then they get behind you, so who knows. Who knows? It was invigorating though to drive through the mountains. Alrighty, I don't know what to do with the timer really, because we're in the middle of these things. So let's just turn that off for a second and go outside and enjoy them. Again, mountain ridge roads, look at that. Holy moly. Roads on the sides of the mountains. Yeah, look at that. Wow. That is so cool. Look at those ridge lines. It's kind of like if you take the plates under the surface of the earth, like think of it like a blanket and or piece of paper, and it crumples up. These are like the exact folds, bridges, and valleys you would get if you crumple up a piece of paper, but not too much. Is that crazy? I guess that's, physics and how the world works. Alrighty, let's see here. What are we going to do now? We're going to go 91 degrees for 420 minutes. Call for 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So let's turn 91 and then we'll read about it here. Kind of a big turn. They just really want us to see that mountain, which is fine with me. Oh boy, don't do that. Don't do that. I want to get out and look out the window here. Come on, 91 degrees. Wow, that's a lot of turning. I could have just gone the other way. There we go. Look out the window. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Wow, look at that. Those must be the roads for the coal mining, maybe? Or maybe the mines are underground. I don't know, but that's really cool. This is a big steep curve turn. So why are we turning? Let's read about it. Because in 420 minutes, we're going to go to visit the town of Norton, Kentucky, which grew to support the local railroad, which supported the local coal mining activity. And then right after that, we're going to go to Lonesome Pine, Airport, which we should be able to see. I think that's it right there, right? November Papa. November Papa. So we're just going to head to that airport, pretty much fly straight in, and we'll land. What do we got for a train in front of us? Oh, it could be on a little plateau. Could be like right up. Is that it? That's not it right there. No, that's just coincidence. I guess that could be it. Is it big enough to have lights this far away? It could. I don't know. But we're not going to come down in altitude yet, that's for sure. Yeah, these must be all mining roads, right? And then the railroad connects to it, obviously, and then the railroad goes to the town, right? That's how that stuff works. Just like it does today, but it was a little bit more tangible back then. Wow, so cool. Alright, one more look outside, then we'll probably take over and hand fly it in. This is so cool. I'm appreciating and enjoying this bush trip way more than I thought I would, to be honest. I wasn't sure what I would think of it, but this is definitely one of my favorites. It's really, really, really cool. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, that has to be the airport right there. I don't think it's that's too far away. I think it's right there. Alrighty, well, we're going to come down here and lose some altitude and fly in. So let's get ready to hand fly here. First, you got to get comfortable in my chair and come down here. Let's get rid of this timer. We don't need it. It's just in the way. And here we go. Let's turn off autopilot. And let's just get down there in altitude and line up for this runway, which I was able to spot outside easily, but now I don't quite see it over there. Interesting. Yeah, I don't see it anymore. It was so easy to spot when we were outside. Is that it right there? If that's it, that means my first guess was right. I don't know. Come down altitude using throttles, of course. I'm not pointing down to come down. I'm using throttles back to come down. And we are going to rely on the GPS to line this up. We basically have to. We don't know the area. If we didn't have the GPS, we would just use the heading and fly over it and then get our, our sense of the area and land. There's some coal mining there. Look at that. This is a huge coal mine. My goodness. My goodness. Alright, let's not get too low until we've spotted the airport here. So we're actually going to pitch up for this, because if I do throttles to stop our descent, we'll keep the same speed. I actually want to slow down. So I'm actually going to nose up a little bit. Okay, is that it right there? That could be it right there. Just taking a moment to appreciate the views. We're going below train level, which I love doing. It's so fun. In fact, we might be getting kind of low, a little too fast here. We're going to totally lose sight of that airport, assuming that's the airport. So let's gain some altitude here. I thought I saw another airport in front of us. There's another airport in front of us. We're not going there. We're going to November Papa, but I thought I saw one pop in, and I was right. Okay, that means my very, very, very first sighting was the airport. Way out there. So why do I doubt myself? I really need to stop doubting myself, because obviously I do know what I'm doing. Oh wow, whatever. It's going to take a while to fly this in. I don't know why we're going so slowly. We do have a little bit of a crosswind. Oh, they got a pool back there. But we'll be fine. So look at how these hills, ridges. Man, this is... Oh, look at that town. Oh my gosh, this is way more beautiful than I thought it would be. Once we got lowered to the ground. I wasn't totally convinced from the air, but wow, it's super cool. Alrighty. Pappy says we're kind of high, but that's because I wasn't sure what the train was like, so let's get down into the glide slope for a set of flaps down. And just glide on down here. We'll expect the stall horn, let's say about 70 or so, so let's try to stay above that while we touch it down. We've been soft. We've been teasing that stall horn a little too soon. Okay, glide slope wants us to hit the trees. We're not going to hit the trees, so this is going to be another bummer here. Have to lean forward. What's our speed like? Whoa, okay. Let's not stall and hit the trees. Oh Why do they have to put trees right there? And why do we have to stall so soon? Are we over the trees? Are we over the trees? We have to be over the trees now, right? I hope we're over the trees. Let's just land way down here. Gall. That was crazy. I was trying to follow the glide slope, but it would put us right into the trees. Why did it stall so early? Stop it. Crosswind. There, nice. Nice smooth crosswind landing. Very cool. My left toe hurts still, that's why the rudders are so back and forth. Because my left toe is broken. Oh, that hurt. Okay, we did it. Those dang trees, man, they're going to get you every time on this bush trip. Oh, if you haven't seen 2 videos ago, I think we crashed, we clipped a tree, and we had to redo it. Man, that was a bummer. Alrighty, leg, what is it? Leg 8, I think, right? Let's get going. Okay, come down here, repair and refuel. Hopefully we didn't do too much damage. Man, that was not fun. Let's come out here and look a second. Yeah, I mean, those trees were right there. So the glide slope would have put me in there. So I was perfectly set up for glide slope. Then when I realized we were going to hit the trees, it started to climb, which made us stall a little bit, of course. So we got over them, ballooned, and then I was over scared, so I didn't even touch down to like way over here. But man, that was scary. Whew, that was, yeah, look at those trees. That is not enough space. Because it's on a hill too, right? This isn't, oh man. I guess the other direction would have been the better choice. For sure. So we're going to take off that way, but we have to back taxi. Alrighty, let's read about what we're doing. Like 8, I think I said this should be low volts. Yeah, I know. I don't know why it is. Okie dokie, 1 set of flaps. Okay, not much navigation here, but it is 22 minutes. West Virginia 09. Pilot knob continue to the northeast after launching from Lonesome Pine Airport to reach Pilot knob. 3 minutes out, 65 degrees, which is the direction we are at pretty much anyway. Come on now. And then so straight up, we do have to turn around. And then we'll reach Pilot knob, then we'll reach about War after that. I don't think I have enough space to take off from here, so let's... parking brake on? Nope. Oh, why is it going back? What? Oh, do it. Come on now, why won't you turn? Come on. Alright, let's go like this and back taxi. Come on, you can do it. That is a beautiful airport. So small, I love small airports. Anyway, let's get, actually, can I go like this? Nope, this way, there we go. Let's just appreciate that. Sorry the HUD is in the way, but you cannot take off the HUD in bush trips. You can check it off in free flight, though, but not bush trips. Let's just look at this beautiful airport. Oh my gosh. Just beautiful. Alright, I'm sure that's all the runway we need. So let's make a U-turn here. And, we should be good. Do a little turn and burn GA style here, which means I'm goosing it before we're straight so we can get a little bit of head start. There we go. I'm going to turn on my personal volume, hopefully it doesn't bleed into the microphone too much. I hope this was enough runway. Yeah, barely, but it'll work. It'll work. Here we go. And upsy daisy, please. Thank you. Brakes to stop the wheels. Gear coming up. And we didn't set up autopilot, I forgot. But this is the direction we want to go. In fact, I didn't get the timer going either. Well, make sure you keep climbing there, buddy. Come on. There we go. Let's start the timer. Please? It won't start. Why won't you start? There we go. Now what does it say, 3 minutes like this? Yes, okay, good. Let's set up autopilot. Let's do 6,000 feet again. Flight director using the heading bug. Go up 1,100 feet per minute and engage. Perfect. Okay. Wow, this is like 10 out of 10 scenery, man. This is just awesome. Look at that valley we're about to go over. Oh my gosh, we'll catch that from the window in a second. But there we go. Oh, this is so nice. This is so Nice. Jeez, let's look at that. Everybody enjoying the views, even though the wings are in the way. Have to walk to the back seat. Don't know why it won't let me go more. I have to duck, I guess. Look at that. Oh, imagine driving that road down there. Alrighty, so 3 minutes, and then we'll read about the next thing. So let's enjoy this for a second here. I'll leave you with this view for like 10 seconds. And you gotta listen to me again. Alright, there we go. Another similar view. We probably don't need to go to 6,000, but we're going to. And let's see. Wow. It kind of blew there, but whatever. Oh, is that the line? Yeah, you can see the line where the tiles come together. There's a tile change right there. And then there's another one back here. There's like 3 tiles coming together. That's okay. Still looks amazing. They do the best they can. Still looks amazing. Alright, let's get ready to make our change here. At 3 minutes 5 seconds, we're going to turn to 73 degrees and go to war. Continue on a northeast heading, paralleling the Clinch River, but staying north of it. Pass into the state of West Virginia, then visit the small town of War, formerly called Miners City. So 73 degrees, here we go. And we're going to go for like 12 minutes, I think it said. Right, 12 minutes? Yeah, so that's quite a ways away. Okay. Oh, look at that airport. That's going to be hard to find. And then land, because of these trees. We're going to have to like stall above the trees. And then nosedive onto the runway and then smack the brakes. Yikes. This is getting scarier and scarier, isn't it? Already 12 minutes, huh? I guess in this case, I'm going to give you some sightseeing instead of talking, so... A little bit of sightseeing. Haven't done that in a couple of videos, but we are right now. Hopefully we can spot this river that we're supposed to stay north of. But I don't see any river. I don't know. We're just going to go till we find what was formerly called Miner City. See a little bit. Alright, we're about to see the town of War out there somewhere, but after that we're going to Belcher Mountain, parallel West Virginia 16, passing to the south of the town of Welch to reach Belcher Mountain, a local high point. So, a little bit of direction change, and then 4 minutes out we'll see a mountain, I guess, and then 3 minutes after that we'll see Mike Ferrell Field. It looks like a field with some pavement on it. So, basically just straight to the airport from here in about 8 minutes or so. I don't see a town out there yet. What is the airport? Oh, come on now, zoom out. Belcher Field there maybe? That could be it, because we are going to change to 50 degrees. The airport's going to be tiny though. So, I don't know. Anyway, time to look for the town of War. That's where we're at. We've been following directions exactly. I don't quite see it. Of course, we could be off a little bit. Okay, I know that's loud, probably hard to hear my voice, but could be right there. I really don't see anything. Something in the mountains, I don't know. But I'm going to assume it's here because that's a tiny area and it's like wrapped around a little bit. So we're going to say that's the town, so we're probably a little bit off. So let's turn 50 degrees now. 50. 50. That'll actually put us, whoops. Well, hang on a second. If we're north of it, if that's really it, and we're north of it, do we want to turn 50 degrees? Because that's going to put us more north. And we're looking for a high mountain that's 4 minutes out. This could get tricky in a hurry here. Do we see anything here that could represent higher elevation? I don't see anything. I guess we'll just reset the timer and turn and use the GPS to find the airport. So, whoops, 50 degrees it is. I mean, I don't see a tiny town out here. I mean, that could literally be it right there. Actually, maybe again, I should stop doubting myself. Because, I mean, that could literally be it right there. Oh my gosh, look at it. Those wraps around. Okay, okay. I guess I did something right again. 4 minutes out to a mountain. I see a mountain out there, but that's farther than 4 minutes out. So, now we're going to go for 3.5 minutes now. And look for a mountain, then after that look for an airport. That is going to probably stress me out trying to land. Not sure yet. We'll see. Hopefully it works. Hopefully I can find it. I don't even remember looking for. 09. It has to be out there somewhere. Alright, I found it on the GPS using the arrow thing, so we know where we're going. But I don't really know where Belcher Mountain is. It's a high point, but it could be any of these high points. So we'll just go for 4 minutes or so, look for a mountain, and then head towards the airport, I guess. Let's look outside and enjoy the views together here. Not bad, but now it's kind of getting to be a lot of the same thing at this point. So hopefully the next leg will be interesting. I believe this is leg 8. So there's 5 legs left, which will be 2 videos, or maybe I'll do the last leg in this one video, not sure. So there's a lot left to do. And it's supposed to be a 5-hour flight, but it's going to take me way longer. It always does. Another town. But I don't really see a high point, but it doesn't say the highest point. With everything looking the same, we're just going to follow our path and our time, and when it gets to be 4 minutes and 8 seconds, then we'll say, hey, there's the mountain, and then we'll head towards the airport. Alright, we've gone beyond the time, so somewhere around here's a mountain. Belcher Mountain. Don't know, but we're going to head towards the airport now, and put that away because we don't need it. I wish I had an elevation, but I don't. So we're going to stay where we're at until we feel where we're going. Then we'll probably have to circle to land, because if we get lower, there's no way we'll see the airport in this mess. We have to find it and then circle down. Even with GPS. I mean, there's no way we're going to be able to find this thing. There's a long river, though, so that helps. So maybe we'll go to the river, and then we'll turn in. Man, I don't know. But let's look outside for the final time before we turn off autopilot. Oh, there's some water. That's cool. And then we'll hand fly this in. And this Bonanza and I are starting to get along a little better after all this flying together, so that's good. Because for a while there was kind of rough. Okay, somewhere over there there's a airport. So let's turn all that off. Let's fly this straight until we get to that second river, then we'll fly it in. Okay, wish me luck. I wish I could figure out and remember how to go up and down. There we go, now I remember. Oh my, now I got really screwed up. What if we go forward? Let's hit my Windows key and go up. There we go, up like that. That doesn't help, so we'll use this one. Okay, not playing around. Let's look for an airport over there. Somewhere. It's not that, is it? It could be. Could be that. I don't know. Let's find out together here. Making our turn on to what could be a final. I doubt this is going to be our final because we don't know where we're going. But we're going to head that way anyway, get a sense of what's going to happen. I really wish it gave us an elevation, then we can tell where it is. Let's see, it's south of the river. Okay, it could be right there. That looks kind of brown though. I thought it was green. Bright green. That's not bright green. It doesn't always line up perfectly with the picture in terms of coloring and stuff, but it's usually pretty darn close. Okay, now we're off because I was staring out the window. So let's get back lined up again. I'm sure once I spot it, it'll be an oh duh moment, but for right now, I'm just going to look at the river and the town and the water and the road. It's a pretty big highway down there, actually. Okay, it says it's in front of us, which means it could be below us. Is that right there, do you think? Let's get geared down just so it doesn't beep at us. Yeah, that could be it. Or is it this right here? I think it's that right there. That's bright green, but I think that's it. So which way do we want to approach this? What's the alert? Gear up? Oh, did I bump the gear thing? Sorry. Must have got my hand caught on it. We're obviously not going to land right this minute because we're going way too fast, but I'm trying to figure out which way is the best way to approach. Let's see. Let's do an inspection pass. Let's do gear up. Give it some throttle here. Which way do you think will be best to approach this thing? There's a tree touching the runway there. Look at that. And there's trees. Okay. Let's approach from the other side. Let's come down here and set our heading bug, because it's off a little bit though, but whatever. Okay, we're going to approach from this other side. We're going to ride that tree line all the way down. We just have to remember, flop's coming in. We just have to remember that, we just have to remember we don't have to touch down at the very front tip of the runway. We got plenty of time to land further down. But this is going to be the most difficult one of the bunch so far, so hopefully this goes okay. Alright, let's do gear down, turn around. Hopefully that's enough space to land. We just have to super tight turn here because I didn't give us any base. None at all. Flaps coming down. Let's not overstress the aircraft though. And let's not lose sight of the the runway. I don't think I gave myself enough space. Full flap because we're so slow. We don't want to stall. Let's not make any dumb mistakes. This isn't the first time we've landed an airplane in the mountains. Alright, do we spot the airport? I do not because we're too low. That's going to be the other problem. Is that, I want to stay low along this, there it is. I want to stay low along the tree line. But that's going to make it difficult to spot the airport too. Okay, here we go. Do we have any final looks out the window? Oh, that looks gorgeous. I wish I could look more, but I can't. Just a little bit threw us off, see? Alright, it stalled about 70 knots, 75 knots, so let's ride it in about 80. There's 84, 83. Oh man, this is freaking me out. We're dropping speed too much. Okay, we got plenty of space. We don't have to aim for the near end of the runway. We could probably even aim halfway down and be fine. I just don't know where these trees are. We're going to stall. I just don't want to hit these trees. Don't hit the trees. Okay, trees are under us about now. Don't stall. Don't hit the trees and don't stall. Look out, car. Look out. We're coming in. We're coming. Oh, gosh. Oh, that's going to accept that? Really? How did that happen? I had control. I had control. I pulled back on my yoke, and instead of going back, it went down. So did we hit a tree and bounce? And that was weird. We weren't stalling. I pulled back on my yoke, but it went nose down instead of come up. That was super weird. I cannot believe it accepted that landing. I'm really bummed because that was the most difficult one so far, and I was hoping to like swoop in and have a wonderful perfect landing. So that's really frustrating, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We don't know the area. If we were here regularly, I would perfect that landing, but not for a bush trip. If this were a free flight, I would probably do it again until I got it, but whatever. Landing is only part of it. I know people make it all of it, but it's just a tiny part of it. Anyway, that concludes leg 8. We have 5 more to go, so like, subscribe when you know, so you will know when the next ones drop, because I still have to fly them. I'm editing these in between flying this time. So there you go. That was the longest waste of time outro ever, but I'll see you next time.